Well, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, all praise belong to Allah, the Lord of the world. Peace and blessing be upon the noble messenger Muhammad, peace be upon him. First of all, I would like to thanks to our proposal examiners, Mr. Nuardi MED and Ma'am Nalfia Ibrahim MPD. Today, my name is Siti Ramawati. I would like to present my research proposal entitled The Correlation Between Students' Instrumental Motivation and Their English Learning Achievement at Babu Salam Senior High School, Pekanbaru. This research proposal is supervised by Ma'am Cut Raudato Miski, MPD. Now we go to the background of the problem. In the context of English language learning, motivation has a function to make learners interested in learning English. A lack of motivation can explain why some students make little effort to learn and fail to complete assignments that are within their ability. Such students don't take part in a lesson, or they don't ask for support when they fail to understand. Actually, there are 4 types of motivation. The first one is extrinsic motivation, the second one is intrinsic motivation, the third is integrative motivation, and the fourth is instrumental motivation. Of the learning objective in the 2013 curriculum is to provide motivation and confidence so that the students can develop their talents and interests maximally. Babu Salam Senior High School is one of the students that used 2013 curriculum. Related to the curriculum above, if the student cannot be motivated in learning, the learning objective will be not as the curriculum expectation. Then the learning process will not be effective and successful. Based on writer's preliminary study before COVID-19 situation, it is by interviewing the English teacher at the school, the writer indicated that the 11th grade students had different motivation and achievements in learning English. Then, on the 7th until 12th of April 2020, I also did a virtual interview to ask the students directly related to their interests, difficulties, motivations, and achievement in learning English via WhatsApp Messenger. The reason why the writer used a virtual interview was because of the coronavirus pandemic situation. And then the interview was conducted to the 3 students only because the teacher only recommended 3 students at that time. The interview was conducted to the different students' English level from high to average and low academic achievement. They are Adriu with high academic achievement, and Wan Bella with average academic achievement, and Ningsi with enough or low academic achievement. It was found that the grade students in that school also got different levels in their ability, interest, achievement, and motivation. Actually, they have almost same motivation, but kind of level is different. However, they different abilities in interest English and also different in achievement in learning English. Some experts say that if the students have instrumental motivation, they will have good or high achievement. But in this case, not all students who have instrumental motivation get a good or high achievement. Next, problem of the study. Identification of the problem. The low student has instrumental motivation, but she still has a lack of interest and abilities in learning English. The average student has different instrumental motivation, but she still has a lack of abilities in some of English skill, such as speaking skill, and also less interest in reading. And then the high one has different instrumental motivation too, but she has high achievement. So the formulation of the problem: how is students' instrumental motivation at the 11th grade of Babu Salam Senior High School, Pekanbaru? How is study English learning achievement at the 11th grade of Babu Salam Senior High School, Pekanbaru? And is there any significant correlation between student instrumental motivation and their English learning achievement at the 11th grade of Babu Salam Senior High School, Pekanbaru? So, the limitation of the problem is the writer only limits and focus on the correlation between students' instrumental motivation and their English learning achievement at Babu Salam Senior High School, Pekanbaru. Next, review of literature. Theoretical framework, including the nature of motivation, the nature of instrumental motivation, the nature of achievement, and the correlation between students' instrumental motivation and their English learning achievement. The first is definition of motivation. According to Awaludin 2019, he stated that motivation can be defined as the force that drives the learners to fulfill their goals, wants, and needs in learning. Such, for example, a student who learns English, it is because of he wants to get a good achievement. If he get a good achievement, it can be useful for him to go to college later. Going to college is the force that drives them to learn English well. It's one of the kinds of motivation that is called as an instrumental motivation. In this case, the writer defined that motivation is a powerful factor for students to learn English in their future life. A student that has high motivation will push him to achieve his goal later. Next, the nature of instrumental motivation. There are many experts talking about this, like Wilkins cited in ANI 2018. A learner has desire to learn a language because of passing an exam, to use it for traveling, and to get a well-paid job. And Nicholson 2013, the instrumental goals are furthering career, getting a better job, or get higher salary. Hong and Ganapati in 2017 also said that learners with an instrumental motivation wants to learn a language because of a practical reason, such as getting a job promotion or getting into the university. Krashen in Al-Ansari 2000 cited in Hanyek Suhatmadi and Shamdianita 2018 said that the learner's desire to achieve proficiency in the language for practical purpose, to achieve specific goals such as to pass an examination or to use it in their work. It also can be found in the students' reason while they stated that they learn English to pass a practical test at school or TOEFL, or they can use English when they work later because they think that nowadays people would like to hire people who can speak an international. So the writer defined this instrumental motivation term as one of the types of motivation that are used by the students when they need to learn English because of some reasons or instrumental goals. They don't care about the community of the target language, but as long as they could get their goals, they have to master the target language. They do because of necessity, not for satisfaction. Next is the nature of achievement. We know that there are many experts also talking about achievement, especially in the context of learning. Student achievement is gotten by measuring their academic content in a determined amount of time. Learning achievement can be meant as the resulting work achieved by students in the learning process. Dimyati and Mujono 2006 also said that learning achievement is shown from an action learning interaction and is usually indicated by the test score given by the teacher. In this situation, the achievement is the student's capability in learning English shown by their test score at the end of the learning process. It refers to the students' English learning achievement at the 11th grade students of Babu Salam Senior High School. Next, relevant research. In this research, the writer chose some relevant researches conducted by the previous researchers. However, the research has a different object, but it has the same problem. Next is operational concept. There are two variables used in this research. They are variable X as independent variable, namely students' instrumental motivation, and Y as dependent variable, namely their English learning achievement. According to Gardner's theory, there are several items to measure the student's instrumental motivation. It is by using Gardner's international version of attitude or motivation test battery, or we can call it AMTB, to assess the participants' attitudes and motivation. The writers take some items that indicate the attitude of the learners. Then the variable Y is their English learning achievement, adapted from 2013 curriculum. Now we go to the method of the research. This research design is a correlational result design. Correlational result designs is a quantitative design in which the researchers use the correlation statistical test to describe and measure between two or more variables or sets or scores, such as Google Form to collect the data, and then also using WhatsApp Messenger to get the student score from the teacher as well. For the subject and object of the research, the subjects are the 11th grade students of Babu Salam Senior High School, and the object is the students' instrumental motivation and their English learning achievement. Population of the sample. The total population of the 11th grade student of Babu Salam Senior High School Pekanbaru is 116 students, and then the sample of the 11th grade students of Babu Salam Senior High School Pekanbaru is 31 students. Next, the technique of data collection. To collect the data in this research, the writer will use the questionnaire and documentation. And then the technique of data analysis, the writer will use the person-product moment correlation as a formula. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention. I'm so sorry for my mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.